Hi guys, hey, welcome back Scorpios. All right, Scorpios, let's jump on into this. We're going to do kind of a little look at kind of a Celtic cross slash tree of life message. We've got an 8 of Cups as our central topic. If Scorpio has been feeling like they are on the spiritual journey or just on a journey of their own, they do seem to be almost standing here saying, wow, I've crossed the river, but now I'm looking up at this new terrain. There's quite a mountain to climb. How do I feel about this? Is this the right path? Do I go straight on up? We've got a King of Pentacles. It looks like Scorpio has the stamina, Scorpio has the intention, Scorpio has the desire, and they have like the big goal. At the top of the mountain, there's going to be a wonderful tree, and I'm going to rest by that tree. And then I'm going to, create abundance, and I'll possibly find the job that I want and the money that I want and the relationship that I want. This feels like Scorpio is walking alone right now because they know what they're looking for. They want either the better life or they want the better outcome. Okay, let's see what crosses this. Ace of Swords. There is an element of, am I spot on with this? Is this true? Are the steps that I'm taking, are they going to yield this? Am I walking away from anything that I should have held on to? Or am I correct in thinking I got to cut stuff out of my life so I can go forward unimpeded? So I feel like Scorpio's really doing some deep thinking. Underneath all of this, we have got the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Look, Scorpio, it's not like Scorpio's not willing to work hard, but they're not willing to work hard on something that isn't what they even want. So this feels to me like we have a Scorpio who said, look, I can keep working in this job and living in the place that I live in, but if that's not even what I want my life to look like, then why don't I go ahead and, even if it seems like it's going to be a little harder at first, let me change directions and let me go ahead and gravitate toward what I really want. Let me make sure that the energy that I put forth is going to actually be building only the outcome that I truly want, because I'm sick of putting energy into things that aren't even what I want. We can get stuck for years working in a job that we don't like, saying it's, at some point I'll, it'll be a stepping stone to something better. But this Scorpio is like, no stepping stones. I want to just pour my energy into one direct goal. This is a Scorpio who's like, I don't have time to waste. I got a plan here. In the recent past, we have Ace of Wands. This is very recent past because this is still Year of the Snake, obviously. Scorpio got lit on, this excitement, this drive. This is I think Scorpio's got this flood of energy, this surge of creativity, this powerful desire. They want the kind of life that they want to have, and they're sure that they can get there. This is a Scorpio who seems to be dialed in. They have left behind some things that they don't need, don't want, in order to go and fight for what they do want, or put their energy toward what it is they do really want. What's the higher self got to say? Higher self says Knight of Pentacles sideways. This to me says Scorpio is listening to their spirit animals. Scorpio is saying, there may be more than one right path for me, but I've set my sights on a long-term goal. I know it can still take time to get there, but at least I will be moving in a direction now. And it almost feels like Scorpio is saying, what I'll be monitoring is the direction that I'm going, so that I know whether it's my ego choosing it or whether it's really the right path for me. What I'll be monitoring as I move toward this goal that I've set for myself are things, opening up to me, or am I just trying to, dig a hole in the middle of the ocean? You can't dig a hole in water, right? The water just fills in. If you're taking a shovel and try to scoop a hole out of the water in the ocean, it's not like digging into dirt. You can't do that. It will not work. So it feels like Scorpio's higher self says, look, I'm not just going at this with a fantasy land expectations that, whatever it is I want, and no matter how hard it is, I'm just going to keep trying to get something if it's not really part of my path. I will evaluate. I will be able to tell if something is I'm being bullheaded about something, or if it's really my right path. I think that's a great like awareness. Like I have to put that self check because this is a very determined Scorpio to get what it is that they want. Can I just see anything else about what is this life that they want? It seems like it's everything from career to romance, longevity. Okay, so we have Mastery of Cups, which would actually be the King of Cups, although they have a feminine on this card. We have the Ace of Swords, truth, peace, clarity, emotional fulfillment, happiness, action of coins, which is like, again, that this is the slow moving knight, but it's like, I will reach my goal. And then the Seven of Cups, I want opportunity. So the thing that Scorpio seems to want, it is kind of like an entire lifestyle shift. They want emotional fulfillment. And that comes with living an authentic life where Scorpio's soul can be comfortable. And they can say, look, I'm not looking for instant overnight success and great wealth and status. What I'm looking for is a life where I enjoy what I give my energy to. I want a life where it resonates with who I am. I want a long-term, goal that I can be proud of what I'm moving toward, but I also want opportunities to do more than just have one goal in my life. So I do feel like it has to do with, I want happiness. I want something that's true for me. So if we're going to, let's say, in life, obviously we work for money, right? And we're going to work a lot of our life in the pursuit of earning money so that then we can support our life. And it's kind of a cyclical thing. And it can be really overwhelming, especially if we don't even like those 8 hours a day or more that we're going to that job every day. So if we have a Scorpio who's like, no, I'm going to like the job that I've got. I'm going to like where I put my energy. That's really important to me because it's a lot of my energy. And then I can be happy while I'm at work and I can be happy while I'm not at work. And I can, have a bigger plan for my life where I want to live, what I want to achieve. And I can also have other different smaller goals that are achievable because I have more energy, because I'm a happier person. So I would say this hints to me that Scorpio has not been living where they wanted to live, doing what they've wanted to do, or being with the person that they've wanted to be with. And they're changing all of that. That's what this storyline looks like to me. What's in Scorpio's next upcoming future? This looks like they are a person with a plan. Queen of Swords, again, getting guidance from their whomever their guides may be, and taking stock of things and being super honest with themselves, doing a little evaluation and saying, all right, how am I doing on this life overhaul? How am I doing on this? Am I digging this? Universe, let me consult with you for a minute. We have got the Three of Pentacles. Scorpio does want to find a new soul group, or find that they know that the objective here is not just to go it alone, but rather to find the Three of Pentacles energy, the person, the place, the situation where their talents and their intentions will be matched beautifully. And I do feel like that's what the desire is. And so Scorpio is going to be doing these little self checks as they are making these changes in their life. And I really feel like Scorpio could be moving. They could be changing a career path. They could be changing who they hang out with. All of those things could be true, but it is only because they realize that they need to choose people, places, and situations that actually, are making them happy. And they'll do these self-checks and say, okay, am I getting happier with the changes I've made? And then have I found something to really build upon? Am I finding things that want to develop with me and that I want to develop? What is the outcome? Oh, Death card. Great. We have got huge transformation. Scorpio is changing their life in this really joyful way. Scorpio is brave enough to surrender everything that they used to do or used to have or what they used to expect in order to say, I'm not afraid of change. I don't think change is so scary. In fact, it's the only way for me to get more of what I actually truly want. So I'm willing to do the change. Six of Cups. This could be Scorpio walking away from a long-term relationship. And now it was imperative that they do that in order for them to meet a new soulmate. This feels like, because Scorpio is so fearless, because they're willing to change their environment, because they're willing to walk away from companionship or relationships that really have not been satisfying. This Scorpio does not live life looking for even keel. This Scorpio wants to actually live happy happiness and have a happy life. They're not going to settle for mediocre or lukewarm emotions. They want real like companionship, real love, real happiness in their life. And I definitely say emotional fulfillment. So I do think that this is about relationship. Like a big chunk of this could be about relationship. You know, sometimes characters don't have the courage to walk away from relationships, even ones that don't make them happy, because they're like, oh, but then I'd be alone. Other characters are like, I would rather go alone because then I know I'm free to meet someone who is the right match for me, because I choose either just the solo single life, or I would choose to give myself the opportunity to meet somebody totally different that would really match me better, make me happier. That's who this Scorpio is. Very brave, but very single-minded about like what's true for them. So I loved this one. You guys, thank you for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Sorry, Aries is